Morning, gang. It's Wednesday, the 10th of July, 2019. Welcome to this morning's United Kingdom Talk, coming to you from the Chapel Hill Marina in Lincolnshire. Some of you might have the wrong day at the top there. It might say Tuesday night because I forgot to do the titling. If you were in right at the beginning, you might have the wrong day at the top. If you refresh the page, it should change to the correct day, okay? Just in case that's bothering you this morning, boys and girls, I see the first message of the day today comes from Gustav. Gustav, you join our list of hopefuls. You absolutely do, boys and girls. If you're new to the show, welcome along. At the moment, we're writing a list of people who get the first message of the day in. This morning, that person is Gustav, and at the end of the month, you can't contain your excitement, can you? You must get up, especially in the morning, just to attempt to get the first message of the day in, eh? And we'll receive a certificate. The winner will receive a certificate at the end of, signed by me. I might even put in a little photograph of myself as well. Isn't that too much? Would you like a bit of hair as well from my head or anywhere else? Would you like me to attach a piece of hair to that certificate? Would you like that? A little memento of me, or some sort of, perhaps a little bit of fluid or something like that that's come out of me? Anything you want, just ask. Let me know. Let me know. So congratulations to Gustav this morning. All right. It's literally just started raining here. I was sitting here getting ready and doing stuff. Particularly warm last night and this morning. Now, last night we did a talk show. Just an impromptu one last night. It was about 7:30, 8 o'clock, I think, last night. And it was incredibly hot in here last night. I'm up here in Lincolnshire at the moment. And the whole night, I was looking at my little temperature thing. I've got an air conditioner thing in the bedroom. I didn't have it on last night. But 20 degrees all night long it was. So 70 degrees last night, all night long. And my friend who's in London, he said that the weather was quite nice yesterday. He had like sun in the sky and all that. Up here in Lincolnshire, overcast all day long yesterday and all night as well, but not cold at all. Completely overcast. Didn't see an inkling of sunlight or sunshine yesterday, unfortunately. But it did look the entire day. It looked like it was about to chuck it down. And literally, as I came in here this morning and started typing away and getting my news stories ready and things like that, it started raining. But from the sound of it, I think it's stopped again. I think I had a look at the weather, and there's some thunderstorms a bit further up than us in the Scotland area and Cumbria and down the kind of east side of the coast. I think they got thunder and lightning storms here. I'm actually looking forward to having a lightning storm while I'm up here in the caravan, because in front of me is just open fields and I can see an awful lot of sky, you know, as far as the eye can see. And I reckon a lightning storm will look quite spectacular here. You're quite safe in a caravan. It's a bit like a Faraday cage, or so they say, you know, a bit like being in a car. So if the lightning strikes the caravan, it should go around you. Unless, of course, I'm sitting out on the veranda. You know, do I take the risk of sitting out on the veranda when there's a lightning storm? Another friend of mine once says, well, you know, if you're out and you get struck by lightning, then it was him upstairs has decided it's time for you to go, so don't worry about it. Just carry on and do your usual business. A lot of people say they shouldn't go out in lightning, don't they? My nephew, when we were in Florida a few years ago, we got there and immediately my nephew wanted to go out, you know. He said, Uncle Chris wants to go straight to bed. He's like, oh, I'm a bit tired after that. Oh, let's go out. Oh, okay. Then he was 17 at the time, so we went out and there was this lightning storm and I was terrified. Didn't bother him at all. I said, do you think we should be out here in this? Oh, no, it'll be all right. We're walking around, lightning storm. It was pouring down with rain as well, I think, if I remember rightly. But it wasn't cold. You know, it wasn't like cold rain. It wasn't like getting in anyway. You know, all that fine rain that sometimes you're out somewhere and the fine rain gets in everywhere, doesn't it? So that's your local weather report for this morning, boys and girls. And I was doing a show last night, and at the same time, I'd completely forgotten. And we have had complaints from ITV, the Boris and Jeremy show last night, boys and girls. Hardly any viewers. Why? They were all watching my programme. That's why. I was physically taking away, one by one, viewers to the Boris and Jeremy show last night. No one was watching. They were all watching our little nighttime show last night. So thank you very much for joining us. Now and again, we throw in a little nighttime show They can appear at any time, usually around about 9:30 in the morning. Have your notifications set on the Facebook thing, you know, the bleep thing, and also on YouTube. Have your subscribe button pressed on there, and you should get a little bleep whenever there's a show going on. All right. Morning to Heidi. Good morning to young Heidi. Morning, my dear. Diane Jebb is there. Good morning, Diane. Adam the plumber. Let's just close a little window down there. There we are. Oh, and that one as well. A minute. Oh, and that one as well. Hang on. How many windows have I got open here? I just want my news stories in front of me. Otherwise, it gets incredibly complicated. All these different things to do all the time. That's it. 1, 2, 4, 8, 9. Okay, good. Diane Jebb in the house. Good morning. Adam the plumber. Ray Reynolds is there. Hi, Ray. He travels all up the country with his ukulele. I mean, his very good friend and ever such a nice person, Mr. Johnny Key. They were in Blackpool at the weekend, playing ukulele there. Michael Pullman, good morning. Jack Carroll, hello to Jack and Femi this morning. Good morning, you two. All right, welcome to our little show. Is that Femi who comes into the to sing the karaoke? Is it my friend Femi? Even good morning to Ian Days. Good morning to Robert Lunn. Mike Rees-Ponto. Good morning, sir. Heidi, no, you didn't get the first message. First message from Gustav. If you join the show after the person who sent the first message in, you will not see that first message. It may look like you're the first message, but they come in order. And I can tell you that Gustav said, oh, I've closed the blooming screen down there if you want. Oh, no, I can't. Can't tell you the time. There we are. I think 9:08. Looks like 9:08. Gustav sent the first message. There was a lot of messages before you, actually, Heidi. Diane Jebb, 9:09. Adam, 9:09:01. Adam the plumber, 9:09:04. Ray Reynolds, 9:09:13. Michael Pullman, 9:09:39. Heidi, 9:09:50. Okay. So that was your second message. You put an earlier message as well, but you were under Gustav there, okay, my darling. Heidi had the fan on all night last night. Yeah, it was hot. I wasn't over hot that I needed the sort of air thing on last night. It was okay. I kind of slept with my duvet only across my bottom. The rest of me was completely naked to the elephants. I have to worry about that. If Japanese tourists are walking by, I'm likely to be harpooned. Harpooned. I thought the same thing would happen in the we had a Jobsworth in the swimming pool yesterday. Oh yes, Jobsworth. So I pull up as usual in my little car outside the swimming pool, and I've gone in. Good morning to Maureen this morning, just texting in this morning. I've gone in through the door, and to get into the changing room and pool area, we have a card, you know, and you tap it on this thing on the wall, and the door clicks and you push it open. That's it, right? Now, similarly to if you're going through a door, if there's someone in front of you, they tend to hold it open, don't they? Right? So this bloke went through a door, and then I took a couple of steps forward fairly quickly to take the door. Oh, thanks very much. Oh, you'll still have to tap in. Yeah, well, okay, I'll tap in. No, you have to tap in over there. I thought, oh, here we go. Yep, okay. So I've got my wallet out. Now, my card is in my wallet, right? And I will usually don't have to take it out of the wallet. I just tap the wallet on there. And if it doesn't work, I turn the wallet over and tap it on that other side. I don't really carry money with me much most of the time. Just cards are in there, right? So I've got this thing out and tapped it. I've tapped it again, and he's looking at the little green and red light. There's a little, and they're only small, green and red light on there. Of course, on this occasion, it hasn't worked, right? Oh, and I'm like, oh, well, you'll still have to tap in on there, mate. Sorry. I thought, oh, you arsehole. You know, I mean, do I look like someone who's going to try and come in for a free swim? You know what I mean? So then I thought, right, I'll play your own game. So I then opened my wallet really slowly, and I started pulling out the cards one at a time, knowing full well exactly where the swimming pool card was. Oh, that's my Visa card there. This bloke's standing there. He's starting to look a bit pissed off now. Shouldn't have bleeding stopped me then, should you? Oh, that's my American Express card. It's my Waitrose. This is my Waitrose card. And then he looked at his watch. I said, oh, is it getting late? Oh, well, it's about 11:30. Oh, right, okay, that's my thing. That's the... Is this... Oh, no, that's the other swimming pool that I belong to. That's just up the road. You know that one? It's quite a nice place. Not as big as yours. I've started a conversation, and I could see he was in a rush. There's my co-op card. I've got two of those. That one's for the one, because we got two different co-ops. Did you know that? There was a different... No, I didn't know, mate. Have you found your card yet? No, I haven't found it yet. It's in here somewhere. Don't worry. Pulled out these and eventually go, oh, there it is. That's the one, isn't it? The white one. And I pushed it right up to his bloody face. Right up to his face. There you go. Tap. And immediately the light went green. Arsehole. Jobsworth. And he looked at... He's actually looked a little bit younger than a millennial. You know, he's probably been given some managerial job and they have to prove themselves. A little bit like young blokes... who are given pubs to run. And they can be such total and utter arseholes, they really can. You know, trying to make their mark, but not really having a clue what they're going. He's got this tick list and he must tick them off. Oh dear, so I got back at him yesterday. Thank you very much. That was I had a nice swim in there. Swim was nice there. Let's have a look. What did I do after that? Oh, and then I went to this place for lunch called Downton's. Downton's. It's like a department store, and it comes across as quite old-fashioned. But anyway, they've got this restaurant in there because I said to my sister, as Tesco's got a restaurant in, because I wanted to go to B&Q. So she said, well, they have, but the choice is a bit limited in there. She said, why don't you go to Downton's? It's in the same car park. So, you know, driven from the swimming pool, got into the car park, driven around the side, and sure enough, there's Downton's. So I went in there, and it's all, you know, I had to go through these armchairs, Parker Knoll armchairs. Jesus, how much for a chair? £1,200. £1,200 for like a chair, I suppose similar to this, but, you know, poshified, and rather it being, I don't know, plastic and metal, it's all wooden, and it all looks very nice. But £1,700 for one chair, not a settee, for one chair. I thought surely they don't sell many of those. And going through the shop, Downton's, this is in Boston, going through the shop, I was aware of how little people there were in there. God knows how they managed to stay open, some of these shops. There was no... It's a big place. All sorts of different departments. You've got electricals, carpets, I suppose. Well, I didn't see carpets, but a gift section where they've got little, you know, things that you can show. What can I buy them? And you'll find something. It's very well laid out. It's very, very clean, but there's no customers in there. Hardly any customers. That, you know, the Hoovers all lined up there waiting to be purchased. No customers. Really sad, really, when you think about it. And I like to walk around a department store, don't you? Like John Lewis or Bentall's or somewhere like that, or this place. No one in there. Anyway, I went to the restaurant section. There was a few people sitting there having their meals, and I had some sort of vegetable lasagna thing with roast potatoes and chips. I was a bit naughty. I had both. So that came within a few minutes. Very, very nice. A little bit on the small side for me, but then I'm a fat pig anyway. You know, I'm not happy unless the meal's like that. I don't like to go to these places where you get a meal and there's a little bit in the middle of the plate. I do like a decent meal, you know. So I had that, and it was absolutely delicious. And I was lucky, actually, because I got in there about 1 to 2. And while I was eating, I noticed lights going off, you know, over the cabinet. So they clearly finished the lunch and they were starting to do the tea thing. One of the things they do there is an afternoon tea. There's little, you know, on in the middle of the tables, there's little leaflets putting on advertising their afternoon tea for £16.95. But I looked on it, and it's nothing like the afternoon teas that me and my mate are sort of used to when we go to the posh hotels or the stately homes sort of around London. So I think I'd be disappointed if I had that. It says, you know, your choice of 2 sandwiches. Well, you know, and you know that 2 sandwiches will come that you've chosen. I think it said fruit scone, which would be 1, and 2 small cakes. Well, that's not how afternoon tea goes when we go. You know, when we go to the hotels, the sandwiches come, and then you just, if they usually come up, if it's a decent place, do you want any more sandwiches? Okay? And then the cakes, the scones come, and you can ask for more scones. And then the cake is a plate full of little cakes. Okay, it costs a lot more than that, but that's it. It just keeps coming until you've had enough. That's how to do afternoon tea. It reminded me of the experience we had in Selfridges. That was very similar. They just plonked the stuff down on the table and that was it, mate. No service whatsoever in Selfridges, and I don't think you'd get it there. Similar in what's that chain place that got into trouble? Petite Valerie. You know, you can get an afternoon tea in there. I think for 2 people, I think it's 25 quid, and it's all right. You know, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's nothing like the afternoon tea that me and my mate would experience in like a posh London hotel, or indeed any of the large hotel type places that are outside of London, like the Grove or Coworth Park or something like that. But the food was nice in there, no complaints, very nice indeed. Nice service, nice bloke. There you go, mate. Just put it down there. That was fine. So I had that. Then I popped into Tesco's. I don't usually go to Tesco's. Got a few bits and pieces in there. And then I went to B&Q. And it's happened again. You know, it's happened again where the night before I went on to Amazon to have a look for some triple sockets. You can buy, because here in my caravan, I'm a bit short of sockets really. There's extension leads plugged in all over the place. You know the extension leads with like 3 or 4 sockets on. The one down here is 1, 2, 3. There's 6 on here, and they're all used. All of them are being used. You can buy sockets, right? Adapter type sockets that are like convert one socket, you know, sort of 1 to 3. Right? And you turn your electric off, you take the wires off, put the wires on the new one, put it on there, and instead of having 1 socket there, you've got 3, and there's various points in here in the caravan where I'm constantly unplugging something or plugging something back in, or using one of those multi-adapter things, which I don't like, which stick out the wall like that, you know, great big blooming square things. So I found these on Amazon, and I'm just about to order them, and I thought, well, I'll just go down to bed. This is on Tuesday night. Monday night. I'll just go down to B&Q tomorrow and I'll get them in there. So after Tesco's, I jumped in a car, crossed over the road to B&Q. I was also going to get some more earth and a couple of rose bushes. But at the moment, the car's full up all ready for the karaoke on Thursday at Silhouettes Bar in Cleethorpes that I'm hosting up there. So I went over to B&Q and larger electrical. I rushed into the toilet. I'm desperate for the toilet. Rushed into the toilet in there. And came back out and walked up and down. There's like 2 aisles that are full of electrical things. One's all light bulbs and coloured lights and battery things and all that. And then down the other side, there's all the switches. Sockets. And these shelves are just full of sockets and plugs. You know, the sort of thing. No, haven't got any. I thought, oh, you must be joking. B&Q and you haven't got these triple socket things? I thought, oh my God. And we've said this before, you know, when you go out, you know, you might want to buy something online. You think, no, I'll go to the shop. And then you go to the shop and they haven't got it. It's happened to me several times in curries. Several times in curries that's happened. So, of course, I've had to come back home again and order it online. And now it doesn't come until, like, I don't know, Friday or Saturday. But nevertheless, I was quite happy to get in the car. But I knew it probably might be a little bit expensive, maybe another £1 or 2, but that was all right. No, don't have any there. All these sockets, or loads of single sockets, loads of double sockets, no triple ones whatsoever. Very disappointing. Incidentally, those triple sockets on Amazon, you can also get 4 quadruple ones. Yeah, so you take off one socket, the single, you know the single socket you got on the wall in your house. You take that off and replace it with like a quadruple one, which fits over that thing, and then I think you have to put another couple of screws in the wall because it's obviously bigger, otherwise it'll move every time you try and do that. So that was my visit to B&Q. Very disappointing, really. And that was it. Came up here, mucked around with all this, got my new backdrop up there, which you noticed last night. I had terrible trouble with the lights, actually. You see that clock there? The clock, when I redid this, I put it up there, right? But unfortunately, well, you can't see it, but that clock is like a shiny surface. And I put it up there, and the light was just beaming straight back at the camera on it, so I had to move it down there. You probably can't see it, but there is another screw up there, or there is another hole. You can't actually see it now. There was another hole up there with where a screw was, because I had to move it from there. And that was it. All right. That was my day yesterday. As I say, did a show last night. That was nice. And I was very pleased after the show. I was a bit concerned that we weren't going to get Holby City again, because it was cancelled last week due to the tennis. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, let's look at the tennis. Oh, will Andy Murray make it because of his bad hip? Well, I don't know. I'm not interested in tennis. But the good news is Holby City was on. And I watched that on the BBC iPlayer colour. BBC on my Toshiba telly. Oh, a Toshiba telly. That's something else I was going to tell you. Remember when I told you all the channels on my Toshiba telly, it's got a free a satellite tuner in it as well. So we've got a little dish here as well as an aerial. And the satellite channels, okay, I've had incredible trouble finding how to sort them out, right? Because I plugged in the aerial, it did its scan, and I've got, like, all the channels are all over the place. BBC One is not on BBC One. BBC Two is completely missing, right? And so on. And then there's BBC One Scotland, BBC One Northern Ireland, BBC One South, BBC One East, and the same with ITV. All these different ITV regions, but they're numerical. So it's 2, 3, 4, and then you might get Channel 5 at 26 or something like that, and they're all over the place. And I've looked at the instructions, and in the end, yesterday afternoon, after I got back from B&Q, I thought I'll ring Toshiba. I said, because I'm never going to be doing it. I'm never going to be able to do this. I've had the telly now about 6 or 7 weeks. It's not a particularly expensive one. It was new from AO.com, only a 40-inch. And the picture's very good, and it sounds all right. It's not got a sound bar or anything. But that's okay. But I've never been able to tune in the satellite. The digital aerial ones are all right. They come up, you know, BBC One, I think it's Yorkshire and East Midlands, BBC Two, ITV, Yorkshire, and so on. That's all fun, the digital aerial. But the satellite part of it, it's all wrong. I rang up Toshiba yesterday and said, oh, well, there's no FreeSat tuner in it. I said, well, what do you mean? I said, it receives the satellite channels. Yes, it's got a satellite receiver in it, but there's no FreeSat tuner. And apparently, it's the FreeSat tuner that sorts the channels out. If you had a FreeSat tuner, it will ask you where you are. You tell it, you know, by typing in on the remote thing, like my LG telly at home. Now, that's got both in it. That's got a FreeSat tuner, and ever so simple to set up the LG TV, not the Toshiba one. So it can receive satellite channels, but it can't put them in any sort of order. And because it hasn't asked where you are, it just brings in all the channels that it can find, every single possible channel it can find. Some are missing, like BBC Two. It brings them all into the TV, and that's it. You can't really sort them. You can create favourites list, but basically you have to go down the list, and you have to do it in order, right? So first of all, you've got to find BBC One and put that on number 1, okay? You can't put, say, you can't first look for ITV, because if you first look for ITV and make that a favourite, that will then put that in position 1, right? And you can't change that unless you delete it. And what happens if you delete it? Everything underneath it moves up 1. So it's just, I couldn't believe it. I mean, had I have known that, I probably wouldn't have bought the telly. So that's a Toshiba telly. Really bad, that, I think. They put a satellite receiver in it, but no FreeSat tuner. So the blooming channels, it's all very well if you want to watch 200 channels. And in the past, of course, when we had all the old different ITV regions, there was a lot of difference to choose on. Not nowadays. It's only the news. Now, I do like to still watch the London news and see how many more people have been stabbed this weekend. Do you know what I mean? But, yeah, Toshiba, not impressed with that. All right, let's just go back to some of your messages then this morning. Let's have a look. Oh, Heidi said I've got the same fan as her. You mean this one over here? My fan there? Yeah, it's quite good, that. It's not on at the moment. It's not particularly hot in here at the moment. Oh, one other thing I've been trying to do. I noticed when on this camera, my speaking goes completely out of sync with the video. I don't know why that is. It's that camera that's the problem. This one seems perfectly all right. So I did try and do something with that this morning. Whether or not it's worked or not, I don't know. So I'll have a look back later. Good morning to Claire. Morning, Claire. Who enjoyed the mirror image tour of the studios last night. Yeah, I got a... Well, it's not in here. I've moved it now. But I had a mirror with me. I can't remember what I was trying to... I was trying to explain to you that this bit here, what all the stuff's on, is not a table or a desk. It's my mum's old sideboard type thing, which has come in useful, you know. And I was trying to show it. I was showing it to you, and then I thought, oh, I'll show you the rest of how it all works near the camera and the lights in front of me and all that. And Claire enjoyed watching that. So I'm glad you did, Claire. Thank you. Hello to Dr. SRS Grigori. Do you get the 5th commentator prize? There is no 5th prize, dear. There's only one prize. You know, first man takes all, or woman. At the moment, it's woman. At the moment, it's woman. Shania has moved into the lead. She has now managed to get the first message of the day in twice. Everyone's got one. Chrissy Dukey Baby, 1. Mark Jones, 1. Will Peters, 1. Tim Partington, 1. Shania, 2. Adam the Plumber, 1. Adrian, 1. Chris Duke, 1. Oh, no, I've already done that. Well, Chris Duke, 1. And Gustav, 1. There you go. So Shania has got 2, you see. 2. Watch out, gang. Who will it be on the next show? Mike says you are like the Queen. She doesn't carry cash either. No, she doesn't, does she? Why? What would she need any cash for anyway? One of the other things I've done is move back further from the desk. So I looked at some of the videos. I thought, my God, you're really close in there to the camera. Morning to Stuart Skinner. Good morning. Loves the shirt. Been painting the outside of the caravan. No. What? It's all paint splashes. Do you like this? This was from Amazon. I think it was about 12 quid or something like that. Yeah, some nice stuff. Nice stuff on Amazon. Hello to Joseph McDonald. Good morning. Who swims every day at 6:30 in the morning. Do you really? Gosh, that's early to go swimming, isn't it? I tend to go every day except, or I try to go every day as well. I will be going this morning straight after the show. I don't go Mondays anymore because at the moment things are likely to change here. But at the moment I'm down in Bracknell on a Monday, and they've introduced a second water aerobics class. So that takes up a big chunk of the morning. And while that's happening, this is down in Bracknell, while that's happening, there's only one narrow lane open for swimmers. And it's become impossible to do it. So that's why I can't go Monday anymore. Mike, door security is there to stop unsavoury characters going in. Perhaps he thought you looked unsavoury. Do I look unsavoury? Come and have a taste. See if I'm sweet or savoury, Mike. That's all I can say. All right. Kieran loves the shirt. Thank you, Kieran. Very good morning to John Paris. Feeling better today, dear? I felt all right yesterday, John. I hope you're feeling better as well. I wasn't ill yesterday, was I? Don't think I was ill yesterday. No. Do you have to have a second TV licence if you have a caravan, or does your house TV licence cover you? Mike wants to know. Your house licence covers you. And to get clarification, I actually wrote to the TV licensing people, and I have a piece of paper here in my house telling me that's what I can do. The stipulation is you can't have someone watching the television at your house and someone watching the television in the caravan at the same time. You've got to have, you know, you can only use one. How on earth they'd know, I don't know anyway. But that doesn't matter because I'm on my own, as you know. So when I'm not in your house, obviously the television isn't on. I'll be up here and vice versa. So yes, your house TV license will cover your caravan as well. To make sure you're all right, what I would do is do the same as me. If you've got a caravan or you're thinking about getting a caravan, write to the TV licensing people. They will send you back something to sign saying that you won't use a television in both venues, both properties at the same time. And then you send that back, and then they send something to you, and then that's it, and keep that bit of paper just in case you get a knock on the door, something like that. Okay. Good morning to Dave Moses. I used to love watching RTI, the German channel, back when it was Analog Sky. Used to love watching it just for the massive microphones they used to have. Yeah, and there was another analog station, Dave, a German station. I think it was ARD. ARD. And I used to love their closedown. Their closedown. They'd play the national anthem, and it was like, I'm just trying to remember how it was now. It was like a long picture that moved quickly from the left to the right, like a roller. Yeah? It was like a roller with lots of pictures, and they would play the German national anthem, and it would so you'd see that bit there, right? And it would roll across the screen with all these different pictures on it. It was I loved it. I've not found that on YouTube, funnily enough. I think it was ARD, the channel in Germany. I knew a lot of the international TV stations because of It's a Knockout. You know, It's a Knockout, which was a great series. Unfortunately, Stuart Hall was found out to be not a particularly good character. But nevertheless, at the time, we didn't know that. We were children. And we used to love It's a Knockout with Eddie Waring and Stuart Hall. And anyway, so they did the domestic It's a Knockout, which was in the UK, different towns competing against other, for example, Boston and, I don't know, Cleethorpes or something like that. Different towns would compete against each other. And then the winner would represent the UK or Great Britain, GB, at other venues all across Europe when all the Europeans were playing it as well. And then we competed against each other in the programme known as Jeux sans frontières. You remember the tune? Da, 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 da. And the theme tune was like a compilation of lots of little bits of music from various countries. It was very clever how it was done. Very clever. Anyway, at the beginning, depending on what country it would be coming from, would be the TV station of that country that hosts that programme. For example, here, so it would start off BBC, and that's how I know. There was a NRK, there was ARD, TF1, and all these different TV stations, European TV stations. So that's how I know them from watching that as a child. It was a great programme, that, Jeux sans frontières. I think the BBC dropped it years ago. I think it continued in other countries. Why we dropped it, I don't know. It was very good viewing, and it was on a Friday night on BBC One Colour at about 8 o'clock, I think it was. Jeux sans frontières. It was great. Absolutely great programme. Morning to Weird City, who loves the epic shirt this morning. Thank you, sir. So the other camera's all right now, is it? Good, excellent. Weird City reckons he will win the certificate. Well, it's the 10th of July. You've only got 21 more days left, mate. And you haven't got in first once yet. You need to try a bit harder, my friend. Try a bit harder. Hello to Leah. Hello, lovely Leah. Oh, Leah Courtney Sherry. I used to work with her at Belushi's in Hammersmith, which is having a bit of a refit at the moment, I gather. She's in Australia. Sorry it's been so long. Worry not, my dear. Worry not. Weird City bloody old dears taking up the entire pool. Not in Boston. No, they don't in Boston. The pool is so big that you rarely get in the way or anyone gets in the way. You just kind of, by the time you've seen them, you've moved right out of the way. It's a massive pool, that one in Boston. Joseph saw a video of me in Central Station. You asked this woman to leave the stage. Do you remember it? I can't remember now, but she must have been a naughty person, dear. Naughty people have to be asked to leave. Claire loved It's a Knockout. Eddie Waring's laughter, who of course he died some years ago, now a long time ago, Eddie Waring. But he had this most infectious laugh, and he also was a rugby commentator. He used to commentate on all the rugby things. I think that's when I started fancying blokes. I think it was about 8 years old at the time, and I used to be watching the rugby. Wow, look at him. All right, good. Let's have a little look here. We got a 1940s weekend. I'm actually up here the entire week, right the way through until Monday now, because we've got a 1940s weekend up here coming soon, which my sister has gone on and on at me to attend all these years. So I'm up here the whole weekend and looking forward to that. Hopefully we get some nice little videos going on there. I've got itchy ear at the moment. This ear keeps getting itchy. It's all right at the moment. I might go down to the chemist later and see if they've got anything to pour in my ear to stop it itching. Most annoying. All right. Do you have someone who snores in your life? Shh. She says, anyone like that in your life? Oh, it must be awful. Oh my God. I don't think I could ever sleep with anyone ever again. I mean, I had enough trouble when I was younger. You know, it might be someone in the bed with you. And I just, oh no, I just can't sleep with them. I did like hands. Oh, go on, get off me, you know. Well, snoring is one of those things that can keep a lot of people awake. My father, our mother used to be able to sleep, I do not know. His snoring was enormous. You know, ask my sister, was so loud. You know, my bedroom wasn't particularly close to my mother and father's bedroom, but the snoring was so loud the entire house. You used to say, have you got someone like that in your life? Well, in the Sun this morning, there's a story here. You need to go to Asda, right? The story says, it may seem, this is in the Sun, it may seem like a dream come true, but this plant could stop you snoring. Now, it looks like a mini pineapple plant. So you've got leaves like that, you know, like that at the bottom, and like a stalk, and on top of it, what looks to me like a pineapple. The ornamental pineapple plant. £10 is all this is going to cost you. Leah says, my partner drives me nuts. We sleep in separate rooms half the time, or it would do my head in. I beg your pardon, Dave Roses, you still live in the 40s anyway, don't you? Well, you would think that if you came here. I don't modernise it. Why spend money modernising anything if the lights still work? If the wallpaper's still on the wall? If the carpet hasn't gone bare, you might as well leave it there. No need to update things all the time, Dave Moses. I bet you're one of those people that queues outside the telephone stores every time there's a new one of those out, aren't you? Or must have... Oh, look at this new phone coming out. Oh, hang on a minute. There's an extra button. I must buy this phone. Are you one of those? I bet you are. Mr. Upgrader. My mate's like that. Must upgrade. The latest thing he wants to do is get a new computer. He wants to change from he's got a Mac. So they're expecting, which he said, oh, well, it's 6 years old now. Is that old? 6 years? The thing is, he don't do anything on this laptop. All he does is type letters of complaint to people. That's all he does. Types letters of complaint and orders stuff. That's all he does. No, got to be upgraded. Got to have the next best thing, which I think he said it was an iPad Pro or something like that. Wow, more money wasted that you don't need to waste. Yeah, unless you're doing something. Okay, like for example, this. You know, I didn't even buy a new computer. I bought a refurbished computer for here because the processor couldn't cope with the videos, and that's working fine now. We got cut off a few times last week, but that was the internet. It wasn't the upgraded computer. And this particular computer has got one of those solid state drives, so it's much faster and it's able to cope with the. But it's not new. A new computer was really expensive, and I don't know why they suddenly shot up in price. But there you go, they did. Must upgrade. These people must upgrade all the time. And he's going to buy this new iPad thing. It doesn't need it. Absolutely doesn't. Oh, it'd be lighter for me to carry around. What? Ah, you're just looking for excuses to buy something. What a waste of money. But it's what he wants to do, so fine. You know, who are we to judge? The last thing I'd ever want to do is judge everyone, boys and girls. I would never ever judged everyone. Leah says she's bruised her boyfriend a fair bit. Oh, I don't think we need to know that sort of thing, Leah. What you get up to in the bedroom, my dear. Leah says, snorers, my partner drives me nuts. Even in separate rooms, I can still hear him. I feel sorry for you, mate. Oh, that would do my head in. A pillow over the head is usually good, but make sure it's one of those pillows that you can breathe through. You don't want the police knocking on your door. You know, so-and-so hasn't turned up for work. Could we check the bedroom? And there's your partner there with a pillow over his head, dead. Doesn't look good. Doesn't look good, does it? Good morning to Paul and Lou. Do I get the certificate for being last? No, there's no certificate for being last, mate. Back to the snoring story. So this is the ornamental pineapple plant from Asda, just £10. It says there are nasal strips, and we've all seen these, haven't we? Advertised. There are nasal strips, there are mouth guards, hypnotherapy, and special pillows designed to silence those who snore. I always found a bit of gaffer tape does it. I mean, they don't usually wake up in the morning, but that's okay. You can just dispose of the body somewhere. How do they know they've been at your house? make sure you wash it in bleach first to remove all the finger marks. And be very, very careful. You don't want to find one of your little hairs entangled in there somewhere when you dump the body. Be very careful. I recommend chopping it up. Chop it up and boil it to make it go down a bit, and then bury it somewhere with a nice rose bush on top. Unless they've got some sort of disease, in which case the rose bush will die. Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway. Do you get it? Dead giveaway, that would be. People come around, oh, why is that rose bush dead? And then they dig it up and find parts of one of your many partners that has been buried in there. Probably not a good idea, boys and girls. There's a tree now. A pineapple tree, to be exact, it says in the Sun. Pineapple plants are said to reduce snoring thanks to their nighttime oxygen production. I'm going to buy one for an ear. I think I'm going to put that there. I'm going to see if I can get one today in Asda. Oh, hang on a minute. I want to go to B&Q, don't I? They're in different places, Asda and B&Q. Oh, well, I'll see. I'd like one of these little ornamental pineapple plants. Grown in Holland, the plants take between 21 months and 24 months to grow and develop the miniature pineapple that sits on top. That's not bad, is it, eh? So it takes 21 to 24 months to grow, and Asda are selling them for 10 quid. What good value that is, don't you think? Oh, talking of good value, if you like plants, when I was in Tesco's yesterday, they've got orchids in there. Big orchids, £5. I was going to buy some yesterday, but my car's full of stuff for the karaoke at the moment tomorrow night up in Cleethorpes. So I didn't get them, but they've got orchids, and they're all white. There's not coloured ones. All white orchids, very pretty, for just £5. Orchids are fantastic value. They really are. If you're a person who buys cut plant flowers, don't. You buy an orchid, you might think £5 is a lot of money. Actually, it's dirty. Normally orchids are anything between sort of 9 and 13 or 14 or 15 quid. These are 5 quid, right? And you'll put it there. I promise you, you'll have flowers that they'll be in flower for 2-3 months. That flower stays on there for that length of time. So at five, they are an absolute steal for £5. And they're available in Tesco's at the moment. Okay, I saw them yesterday. They had loads of them in there. Anyway, grown in Holland, 21 and 24 months to grow. It says, through the simplicity of improving air quality with oxygen, it could help 45% of the British people that snore get a better night's rest. Oh, it doesn't say anything about Australians, Leah. It might not work for Australians. It says, while you're asleep, your airways relax and narrow. This affects air pressure within your airways and causes the tissues to vibrate. Shh, I don't think I snore. I did have this idea once of live streaming my sleep. Would you like me to do that? Live stream. I hope I don't wake up and do things forgetting that the camera was on. No, like get out of bed naked or something like that. Shall I live stream my sleep one night? It'd be very dark though, wouldn't it? It can also occur if your airways are partially blocked, like when you have a cold. Some people may snore infrequently, while others do so relentlessly. Yeah, that's your other half, Leah. Shh. You must record him. Some people may snore infrequently while others do so relentlessly every night, and it can even be loud enough to be heard in the next room. That's like my dad. Apart from the obvious tiredness and nighttime arguments, snoring can actually cause some more serious health woes. Snoring can sometimes be a sign of obstructive sleep and apnea, where a person's airwaves repeatedly become partially or totally blocked for about 10 seconds throughout the night. Sleep apnea increases your risk of high blood pressure, stroke, heart attack and irregular heartbeat. So there we are. So there's a plant available from Asda, like a mini pineapple plant, which looks absolutely lovely. It looks really nice. £10. It's got to be worth a try, isn't it? You've got to try that. If you've got someone who's snoring in your house, go and buy one of those and see if it works. Okay? Leah says, also, our Labrador snores so loud and our Beagle has chosen a new place to sleep. Snoring pets. My sister's got a snoring dog as well. It's a beautiful Rottweiler. Great big thing it is. You know, if you saw it, you would be scared. But when you meet it, it will absolutely want to be stroked to death. Oh, he's lovely. Bison the Rottweiler. Bison the Rottweiler. Hello to Too Much. A very good morning to Too Much this morning. Dave, have you started your new karaoke nights? No, it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow. I've got a poster, Dave. Have you seen my new poster? Here it comes. There we are. Thursday night karaoke. Starts tomorrow night at the Silhouette Bar, Alexandra Road in Cleethorpes. Okay, Silhouette Bar, 38 Alexandra Road, Cleethorpes. And that starts at 9 o'clock tomorrow night at the first LGBT gay bar in Cleethorpes. So that's where it is. Come along if you are close by, boys and girls. I don't suppose we'll get any of the London lot up there. It'd take them about 4.5 hours to get up there, wouldn't it? All right. Are you nervous about tomorrow night? No, not really, Dave. I don't really get too nervous about jobs anymore. You know, they either work or they don't. You know, I do the best I can. Some jobs you do. I haven't started a new night really now for quite some years, for about 3 years. Haven't started a new night. Do I get nervous? No, because my mind is completely on the job. The only thing I'm worried about is that will people enjoy it? That's the main thing that worries me. Will people enjoy it? That's all that's on my mind. Not getting paid at the end of the night, funnily enough. That doesn't come into it at all. I want people to have a good night. That's what drives me. That's what drives me. And you know, if you don't think they've had a good night, then you give it another few goes, and then you decide, you know, that, and it comes from their side as well, of course. You know, perhaps I won't fit in. You know, sometimes you can go to the place and you simply don't fit in. That happens. That happens. And again, you can be somewhere for a period of time, and for some reason it just stops working. That can happen as well. Or you get other hassle, you know, you start getting hassle and you think, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. So you must leave at that point. You know, you hang on for a couple of weeks to see what happens. And if you're not happy with how things are going somewhere, you have to go, because you can't be doing this sort of job, you know, if you're not happy in it. You know, really, you have to go once you're not happy anymore in one of these sort of jobs, I think. Claire wants me to live stream myself sleeping. She probably wants to record me snoring or something, doesn't you? Leah, it's the sound that gets me most when he lays on his back and breathes normally and then makes a popping sound from his lips. Have you recorded this? You must record this and show it, or send it to me on the Facebook thing, and we can play out the sound, can't we? How awful. Awful. We do one more story, boys and girls. Good news. Lion King. It's coming. It's coming, I think, on the... I've got the date here. I think it's the 19th. So what's that? That's next Friday? Not Friday, the Friday after. The Lion King is coming back, boys and girls. The first reviews, it says Beyonce. This is in this morning's Metro. Beyonce and Donald Glover are both praised for their voice work as Nala and Simba. But it sounds like the real winners are Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen as Timon and Pumbaa. I like that name. Imagine having a name like that, Pumbaa. What a lovely name. Whose critics are claiming steal many scenes and the visual effects team. Now, so am I right in thinking Beyonce isn't actually in the film? She's just the voice. I thought she was in the film. The Lion King delivers, it says here. It's a visual masterpiece that will leave you smiling and crying the whole time. I'm so looking forward to this. Shared critic Beatrice Verhoeven, adding, it's a true testament to the lasting effect Disney movies have had on all generations. Are there any bad Disney films, you know? I mean, the way they're now turning these old cartoon films into live action films, I think is absolutely brilliant. I've loved all of them that I've seen so far. We've had 2 Snow Whites, haven't we? We have 2 Snow Whites, and we've had is Maleficent. How do you say it? Maleficent? I can't say that word. The witch, you know, the witch. Was that a Snow White person, or was she another thing? Or was that Sleeping Beauty? I think that was Sleeping Beauty, wasn't it? With the dwarfs. Yes, it was Sleeping Beauty with the dwarfs, wasn't it? I am an actual dwarf. I have to tell you that now. Or maybe I could be a bit smaller. I'm only about 5'7". You know, people usually tower above me. They're the ones I fancy, the ones that are usually towering above me. Never get any of them, unfortunately, but there we are. Timber and Pumbaa steal the show, and Beyonce, it says here, Nala's role has been increased from the original 1994 movie. It's only 1990. I thought it was older than that. But Terry Schwartz, however, suggested Beyonce and Donald Glover are fine if underused, but that the comedians, and especially the young Simba, J.D. McCrary, stole the show. As The Lion King is a landmark visual experience, this story says, I've never seen anything like it, and I think it's going to change how we look at movies forever. Added Adam B. Although he hinted that the film doesn't deliver on an emotional level because of the problems that still face animators and visual effects departments when it comes to making animals emote. So it's looking good for the upcoming film, the remake of The Lion King live action version. But I thought Beyonce was actually in this. But it looks from this that she's only providing the voice for something. I don't know, but I will certainly go and watch that, hopefully as soon as it comes out. Maybe on... actually, no, I'm up here all weekend, aren't I? So maybe the next Sunday with my mate, he'd go and see a Disney film or something like that. Good. Alrighty, let's do today's birthdays, boys and girls. Happy birthday on this Wednesday, the 10th of July 2019 to Tim Robertson. Good morning, Tim. Happy birthday to you, sir. Sean Curran, morning Sean, a young 47 today. That's a great age to be, 40s, fantastic age. Happy birthday, sir. Nicolette, hello Nicolette. Nicolette Gearing-Helly, I think it is, 55 years old today, a little bit younger than me. Happy birthday, Nicolette. Alan Hopley, good morning Alan. Have you had your teeth whitened, dear? Your teeth look very white in some of those photos. Fantastically white, incidentally, not badly. Very good, very good. Happy birthday, Alan. And Bobby G, who's a radio DJ. A very good morning to you, Bobby G. And happy birthday to you as well. And I'm hoping to be able to sing this at some point. The computer on the left is even older than the one on the right. It does take a while. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Joanna. Oh, Joanna, you're just in time for the singing now. I hope you enjoyed it. You're a little bit late today, aren't you, dear? God, look at the time, Joanna, honestly. All right, time to go, boys and girls. I'm off to the swimming pool now. Thanks ever so much for joining us on the show today. Hopefully I'll see you again at some point tomorrow. We'll be going to Skegness for our weekly trip to Skegness tonight, up at the Trawler's Catch with my brother-in-law and my sister. Perhaps you'd like to join us there. We'll be there. We would never know what time we'll be there. Usually sort of around sometime between 7 and 8 o'clock. We sit there and have my baked beans and chips. My sister will have fish and chips, and my brother-in-law will probably have a kebab. And then it's a walk along the seafront, and then an ice cream, and then to Aldi, and then back. We do the same thing every week. We love it. We love it. Well, that's where we're going. Skegness. Nice picture, as provided by Mr. Ray Reynolds some months ago. And I do keep things that people send me, and I think, oh, that'd be useful. And there it is. That'll be up there for months now until I change the background. I might leave that one up there, even when the background changes for another season. As it's kind of in fitting with the whole area thing, you know. So thank you for that, Ray. Have a nice day, boys and girls. Thanks for watching and listening. And I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye now.